Hey guys, I'm honestly so excited for this interview. It is one of the best ones I have done so far. Really, so much information in it. Today, we're talking with Keiko, one of the best duelists in Europe, only just missing out on Ascension and that promotion to the VCT League. He is a close friend of mine. He is one of the most hardworking, most professional players I know, and he has so many tips to share with you. How to perform at your best, how to rank up, just how to be your best self and how to be one of the best players on the market. Watch it all the way to the end. There is infinite value in this episode. I cannot overstate how good this episode is. Please drop a like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy.
Find the kill still looking very, very healthy, and it's just going to be the Omen versus the Jett. Keiko still having that dash back, and then Paranoia not quite connecting. Shorty available, and it is gonna be the ace for Keiko. 3 on the Blade Star.
For there, right? He's finding one on Magnum. Keiko gonna look for. Oh, that was disgusting. Look for one of his own, and he gets it.
Dodges the stun as well. Finds the second. Oh, what? Keiko!
Flash comes in, the kills, Keiko wins, they got no chance. I wanna see a mystic flash across them. Good entry, bye-bye, it's over. Come on, Tackers, you're not getting it's over. Bye-bye, Breach, it's over.
It's just easier to just like leave it rolling and we chat shit, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be. Don't feel like there's any pressure. It's just me and you chatting to each other. So
Yeah.
relax. No pressure. No pressure at all.
It'll be all good. I was talking to my agent and he told me it was like 3 or 4 days ago. I was talking to him and he was like, "What's the best?" I was asking him like, "What's the best time to take a break?" Because I haven't had a break since Germany.
Okay. Yeah.
And he said like now, so it wouldn't mess up my trials were happening like in a week because all the teams are trialing in a week and a bit.
Do you have any trials in NA?
I actually reached out to some of the NA teams.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a response. It's
Oh, yeah.
hard because I don't have too many connections with them individually.
True, but I think it doesn't take much digging to see the people that you played with and the team that you've been on. I think to kind of like to show the caliber that you're, the level that you're playing at. That's all right.
Yeah.
No problem.
So-
No problem.
So, what were we saying?
Just like I think you've kind of proven yourself at like a very high level already. So I think that you have a lot to go on in terms of your experience with Apeks. So
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully that
they get
speaks
back
for
to me.
itself.
Yeah.
I mean, at least to get your foot in the door and to get a trial.
I mean, it's a lot about connection. So I mean, I'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, welcome to esports, right? Where
yeah,
it's all about.
yeah. It's always it's always the connections,
Yeah, it is. It is. I definitely feel you on that one. So, anyway, I guess like an obvious place to start is just to like say who you are, right? Like, just so people know who you are, what you do, where you come from.
I get this question asked a lot, and I don't know what to say every single time because it's like, okay, so I'm Keiko. I'm a professional player for Apeks, and I play duelist for the boys, and mainly Jett, and sometimes a bit of Rose. And we played the Ascension tournament, came second, which was pretty sad, but it is how it is. It is how it is, But yeah. Been playing Valorant competitively for 2 years now, so yeah, that's about it.
Are you satisfied with where you are after 2 years?
I mean, yeah, to be honest, I think I had a really steep increase in level since I've started because I was playing with friends, then I went to TGH, then WYLDE, then Bonk, and then Apeks, which is always I'm always going a step up, so it's encouraging.
Yeah, I mean, it really has been a kind of meteoric rise, I think, in that sense, right? I think there aren't many players that kind of make that progression like that, like you have. So there's definitely something to be proud of there for sure. Yeah. And I think, well, I'm interested to talk more about that as well. Like, I think how you think you've done it, but I think for me, the interesting place to start is like, where did you start in gaming? You know, what was the first game that you played, and why? You know, I think for a lot of people it was for fun, but when did you kind of start competing? And yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, my first game like I ever played was on the Xbox One. Like the first Xbox was like Halo 2 with my dad, you know,
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
playing a bit of Halo, and then it was Black Ops 1 on the Xbox 360, which I played a lot of Black Ops 1, and then Black
Uh-huh.
Ops 2, which was actually my like most memorable game, which I played when I was like 9 till I was like 12. Like so
Mm.
many years I was playing Black Ops 2, I swear. And
Yeah.
then my first competitive game would be Fortnite, to be honest. I was competing in that a lot, and I was pretty young, I was 16, 17, and I was playing for fun at first, but then I got into a group of friends who were taking it seriously, and it kind of drove the competitive like how would I say it? Like it brought out my competitiveness, you know, like trying to beat my friends and everything like that. But
You're
it
cutting
was
out a
like,
little bit, by the way.
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
how do I fix this? Let me check my
I
voice
see. Now
settings
you're
one sec.
fine. Now, yeah, it's because you're talking a bit louder. I think.
I'm talking a
If you
bit
just,
louder. Okay.
yeah, just turn. If you turn the level down on your Discord, I
Yeah,
think
yeah. I
you'll
just
probably be
I
all
just
right.
did. I had it pretty high actually, but yeah. So basically, it was. I was just going back to the Fortnite basically. So um, yeah. I mean, I found a group of friends that played Fortnite competitively for a bit, so it brought out the competitiveness in everyone, and I think it's good to find a group of people who share the same like drive as you.
Mm,
And
mm.
I was it was I was playing a lot, but I wasn't great at Fortnite. I was really good mechanically, but for me it was like the game sense. I didn't really understand what it took to be like a professional player then. So I was just playing wages a lot. Like wages is like in Fortnite is like when you 1v1 someone, and you
Okay.
basically
Do you like bet
you
points on?
you no
You
you bet
gamble
money
on it?
against
Oh,
each other.
oh,
Yeah,
real
you bet.
money. Oh,
Yeah, you
bloody
bet
hell. Yeah.
money.
Okay.
You bet money on each other, like who's winning, and you would always play against the streamers because it was like if you played against some random guy, he'd just scam you, you know. So you donate to the streamer, and then you play them. They're like streaming, and then it was like if you win, they send you like double the money back and everything like that. And it was like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool. Did you
yeah.
make much money doing it?
I made a lot of money wagering, but not much money during the competitive side. You know, like the in-game run events where it was like you can make 20,000 or something like that.
Oh
But
my god.
I didn't make too much money on Fortnite competitive, but wages I made a good amount.
So how are your parents about it? Are they supportive?
I mean, it's always stressful with Asian parents, you know, because they want me to go to university and everything like that. But it was um it was a bit awkward. Like since WYLDE, I got my first professional salary in WYLDE, and then
Mm.
they were happy about it. But to be honest, the focus was still on school. And then when like I messed up my A levels pretty bad because I was playing a lot of Valorant. You know, like it was the middle of the season, and I was trying to balance both, which never works. You know, because you
Mm.
just mess up on both, which is the worst part. Because yeah, I mean, I was trying to study and I was trying to play a little bit, but it was really bad. But um, yeah, after that, I messed up my A levels pretty bad, but I still got into a good university. So yeah, I was planning to go to university, but then I got an offer from Team Finest at the time, which was Bonk, which is now like Bonk, right? With
Mm.
Bonka, Kicks, Destructive, and the Juicy. I got an offer from them, and I wanted to take a gap year from university.
Yeah.
And my parents were very hesitant on that, but you know, I uh, I made it work. But then you know, disaster strikes, Finest dissolved, and I didn't get to sign the contract, and that's when
Yeah.
the stress was really there, you know, like with my parents, they were always like they you know, when you take a year off and you're saying you're gonna make X amount of money every
Yeah.
month and you don't make anything because esports. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's very challenging. How I guess Yeah. So what happened during that time, and how was that? Like, what was your living situation like?
I mean, my parents. I was living with my parents, so it was fine. It was just the fact that I took a year off to play video games in their minds. You know, I was playing video games for fun, and you know, I was it was yeah, it was an interesting 6 months. We were grinding really hard. It was like 12-hour prac days. We were all grinding massively, you know,
It's a
and it
lot.
was yeah, it was a time, but I think I think I played really well. Like I think I was improving a lot with Bonka. Like he's a really good leader, like a really good like personality. You know, he's like I know people don't see the impact someone has, you know, outside of the game and
Yeah.
everything like that. And for me, it was like he um he he instilled like a lot of good habits. Like before, I was sleeping in. You know, I wasn't taking the esports thing too seriously. You know, I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like I don't need a schedule. You know, I just wake up and play. I'm good. You know, but now he you know he would get he would like discipline us. You know, like he'd
Hmm.
get on the stick and whack us. You know, like you don't wake up on this like 2 hours before prac. You know, you're not fully awake. Then yeah, you need to go out for walks before and everything like that. It was good. You know, like it really like opened my eyes on about the seriousness of it all, and you know how important it is. And I think it carried on to Apex. You know, I think um I think it was a very like it prepared me for like a really serious environment. You know, I mean not too serious, but you know like when a very professional environment. You know, everyone's there. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I
everyone's
think
like
that.
taking it as a job.
I think that change in mindset is really important. Um, I wanted to go back to something. So you played in Wild, and then you played in Bonk, and then you played in Apex, right?
Yeah,
That's correct.
yeah.
How do you feel about your performance when you were with Wild?
Uh, Jesus, that was a time. I mean, I'm not too. It wasn't great.
Well,
Like it
at the
wasn't the
time, how did
greatest.
you feel about it? I guess rather than how do you feel about it now, of course, because you've had quite a lot of
Uh,
success since that point.
I mean, at the time, I was like, I was really stressed because I was trying to balance both, and it was like I'm messing up on both. You know, like I can't give anything 50-50 because I was giving it 50-50 and it wasn't working out at all. I was I was playing like 6 hours of prac and then I would study the rest. But for me, individually, I know that I need to play outside of the game because I don't really train my mechanics in prac. I train like my comms and my position and everything and
Mm.
everything like that. And it's hard to like practice your mechanics in like that. So individually, it was not great for me. You know, like I was stressed out of my mind because you know, like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna have a career after Wild. Who's gonna pick me
Yeah,
up after a performance like that? You know,
I
and
remember. I remember
yeah, I mean,
following it from the outside, and I knew you weren't living up to your potential, right? I mean,
yeah,
having worked with you, it was quite clear that that was not you playing at your best, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, but you learned from that.
I mean, yeah, I got. I mean, the finest guys took a chance on me, you know, and it worked
Yeah,
out. So we had a really good run with the boys, and it was really fun.
yeah, for sure. I have loads of questions for you. So I guess the next one that's like goes back to something you just said actually, right? About training mechanics, and
Hmm.
I think you're someone that consistently achieves very, very highly on the leaderboards, right? In fact, maybe even across multiple accounts, you'll have multiple accounts that are
Yeah.
radiant. And how do you do that? I guess. How does
Um.
someone get to the point where they can do that?
I don't know. I think it's like for me, it's all about like I don't know. I just when I'm playing, I just
You can be
I don't know
honest.
how.
I mean, if it's just like you're just better, that's totally fine, right? Because I know that there's an element of that.
I
But
mean, it's I think it's ranked and ranked is like a whole different game to when you play, right? And it's like I can play 6 hours. I can play prac for like 3 weeks straight, and then I go on ranked, and I'm the worst player imaginable. I drop like 5 kills and I go 20 deaths every single day. But when I do that, I kind of just I play it out, you know, like I play 6 games and I get 5 kills in every single game, you know, and I die every single round. And but it's like I'm just learning to see what's happening, you know, like it's like I go and peek this, I die. I go and peek that, I die. And it's like I do that on repeat, and then the next day I play ranked, and then I'm playing better, you know. I can actually shoot things, you know, because the confidence is back. But which is the, I mean, it's understandable because it's ranked, but it's at the end of the day, it is just ranked, so it's not really worth anything. So you just, you know, play to learn. So yeah,
It's a good point. It's very, very different. Like playing competitively is not the same game for sure.
Yeah.
Do you do anything for your mechanics outside of the game, or even in the game? Do you have like a warm up routine that you follow generally?
Yeah, I mean, I play my Kovacs. Well, it's a bit 50-50. Like when I come back from like if I'm in a slump, I'm gonna be playing my Kovacs routine like every day in the morning to keep up my, like to try get back into it, and then I play a lot of deathmatch, and then I actually have around right now. I got a Smurf recently. Like I had basically before I was playing like ranked my main and just like trolling, and just queuing. And like for my mechanics, I think I just play a lot of ranked, and right now I have a Smurf, so I play a lot of ranked on that Smurf, and I play a lot of like different agents. But it's at a high. It's not like a Smurf. It's just like an alt account.
It's
That's
an
like
alt, yeah.
basically like it's a high rank, and I play a lot on it, and it's like it's a lot more chill. I can, because I don't have my name on there, you know, so I can just like troll games without people being annoyed and saying, "Oh, how's this guy in Apex? He's fucking trolling my games," you know, like that. Am I right? Yeah, when I'm on my main, it's like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're on a pro team, you're completely trolling," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just trying stuff, you know." So
do you feel that kind of like gives you that extra level of pressure in ranked when they're like, oh, it's Keiko, you know, he's gonna, because I think you're well known for like very flashy plays, right? I think a lot of the time, I think that you do make a good highlight reel, right?
Yeah.
And I think, does that put more pressure on you to perform, whether it's in ranked or even in an official setting as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a little bit when I first joined Apex, because I think everyone started like, it was like after the first month in Apex, it was like everyone started to, because I was still like not really well known like before Apex, and I think after the first month, people started like seeing me more in ranked, you know, and I was playing a lot and put a little bit of pressure. But after that, I was fine. But in officials, it's like it's a little bit more different than that, than the stress, the reason for the stress. So yeah.
What's it like playing an official in
I
that
mean,
kind of level?
it's like, it's just, we try to not stress out too much. It's like just another day, you know. We play a lot of teams. We play like every single team, so we have a lot of experience against top level teams. So like when we play an opponent, it's like we just need to, as long as we play our game, we know we're gonna win. And if we don't play our game, we know we're gonna lose, you know. So we just need to not let the nerves get to us, and you know, the nerves did get to us at the end. So it sucks, but it is what it is, you know.
I'm definitely going to come back to that.
Yeah,
To that, obviously, it's because I think it's something that we can't not talk about.
yeah.
But so, do you have like a pre-game ritual when it comes to officials to kind of ground yourself, right? And so you kind of go in with the same mindset every official.
I think I have basically before an official, it's like I'm playing a lot of deathmatch. I'm listening to music, and then it's like this thing where I always eat a banana, and
Oh
you know,
yeah,
Yeah, I have the banana before the official. I have it. I had it in Ascension like every single time I played before a match, and then when I'm at home, it's always I try to have a banana, but sometimes I won't because we just don't have any. So I'll try to eat like a fruit or something like that, and I try to walk around my room a bit. But other than that, I'm playing a lot in game just to warm up my mechanics because when I want to go into the first round, I just want to like you'll see on my pistol round on the first maps, I'm always like
So
really feeling it.
focused. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just it's but then yeah, after that it goes downhill, I mean but it's the first round I'm always good for one, so we'll see.
Yeah, 100%. I do. To be fair, because I feel like these questions are so juicy. I have to ask this one. And okay, you said the point about people focusing too much on ranked. I think on rank when they're playing ranked. I think that's so important. But I guess what's something that everyone does wrong? Like why can't forget about it doesn't matter. What is something that everyone does wrong in terms of improvement?
Everyone. You're in the top level players?
Oh, you can include them if you've got some criticism
No,
that goes that
no,
deep.
I was
But
thinking when you're saying everyone, do you include them or not? Or like
the ranked
or just like
community, maybe.
the ranked everyone? Okay. I think it's no one's just like when I was first starting the game, I first started the game, right, and I had no experience with TAC FPS, but I played like a little bit of CS:GO when I was like 12, 13. I was playing on a laptop and I was playing on like 30F with like an Asda mouse, and I was grinding the game a little bit. I have like 1,000 hours on the game from when I was like 12, 13. Maybe most of it's like on AFK servers trying to get a case, but
Yeah.
I was kind of like when I first started playing Valorant, I was completely new to the TAC FPS, and I still managed to get like I came from Fortnite, so I had a little bit of competitive experience, but it's a completely different game. So when I came into Valorant, it was like I was completely it was so bad. I was just playing ranked, and I managed to hit Radiant in like 3 weeks. And I mean from like
Really?
from that experience, it's like you need to I learned a lot because I was like trying to improve a lot because I was like I wanted to quit Fortnite, but then I got addicted to Valorant, and I told my friend that I would it's like you need to not care about the rank because seriously it's I think everyone thinks about it too much, and I think it's like you're not learning. You need to be learning to improve, and people aren't trying to learn. They're just trying to win. Every time I was playing ranks, I was clipping when I was dying, and I was just watching it back every single time just to improve. And I was just like writing down what I was doing wrong every single time, and it was like that consistent VOD review, and like it was just self-improvement and stuff like that. It was just doing
Wow.
that over and over again.
So did you review every death virtually?
But basically, it was like I was taking duels, so like I'd swing and then I would shoot first, and if I died, I would clip. Like, and if I picked an angle and he shot me first, I would think,
Why?
why did I die like a fucking idiot, like in this angle, and it was like, oh, he's further away from the angle, he can see me before I see him, and it was like, I got to jiggle him. He knows I'm there and stuff like that, and it was just like I was writing down like all the list of reasons and like possible solutions and stuff like that, but that's like when I was first starting out, so it was like. I was really new to FPS and I was playing Reina only. Like I had like 400 hours of Reina on that season. I was just playing ranked Reina. And because I didn't know what the agents did half the time, like when I first, like the first 3 weeks, I didn't know what half the agents did, right?
Yeah.
After the first week, I started understanding what was happening, but I still didn't understand rotations and everything. I was just running it down and I was just like trying to shoot people. But I mean, I guess it works in ranked because, it's ranked, right? So
Yeah.
you don't really need to understand anything.
So you got Radiant without understanding anything about the game. You simply shot people better.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the first week I was clueless on what was happening. I remember getting told like multiple times like, Reina, what the fuck are you doing? You're lucky your aim is good, bro. And it was like this. It was like constantly like that, bro. It was like Reina. I remember a game on Bind. It was like this guy told me, Reina, you're so stupid, but your aim is good. Thank you. And then it was like because I just saved the round or something like that, right? And they didn't know what I was doing, and I was just playing, but yeah.
So how did you then? Okay, so you kind of you developed this in the first. I mean, this is crazy to do this in 3 weeks, right? I mean, I understand your mechanics. I know again, like your mechanics are kind of already on that level. I think you do have an innate ability to do that. But then, how did you kind of learn more about the game sense? On top of that, was that also through VOD review? Was that through clipping what you did, or?
I mean, there's I think there's like two different types of there's like ranked game sense, and then there's like, do you mean like your like actual Valorant like games? So it's like
No, I mean,
ranked,
like, how did
ranked
you climb in ranked? Honestly,
in
I mean, of
ranked in
course,
ranked. Okay,
yeah,
it was just for ranked, it's just like you just play a lot. Like you kind of understand the meta once you start playing a lot of ranks. You know, like you play a lot, and then I I after the first season of ranked, I got onto an alt, and then I started playing a lot of Jet. I started understanding her kit more. I was playing on an alt account just to learn Jet because I didn't want to touch my main at the time because I was like
you
I was
happy with
the
the rank?
average. I was the average ranked player. I can't lose the ranked. I can't lose my radiant. And I was like I went onto an alt and I started learning Jet. I started learning more about her, and then I started playing a little bit of Raze. I started learning a little more after the first act of ranked because my first act was like, I'm gonna climb as high as possible, just using my mechanics. And
Just
then
win, yeah,
the second I was just trying to learn more about the game. Like what everyone's like, what's the role of everyone on the thing, and it was just learning stuff, learning the duelist mainly because I think I didn't want to. I want to like specialize and like focus because I don't think in ranked I ever picked a anyone other but Reina and Jet or something like that. So it was like I didn't touch anyone because I just wanted to focus and just play those agents at the beginning, so it wasn't too confusing. Because like when you try to play on a different role, you're gonna make more mistakes with like
yeah,
stuff you don't know. Like oh I shouldn't have pulled out this util here and stuff like that. Once you
yeah.
start learning it.
So, yeah, I guess onto kind of like what you wanted to answer or what we were just saying before. How do you then take? No, okay, I've got two questions. The first one is, how much do you think rank matters when it comes to going pro? Do you think it's helped you being Radiant consistently?
I think it's actually really important because I mean, other than for an IGL, I think ranked is important just to improve your like your base level. Like when you go into it,
Yeah, for sure.
when I first joined, after the first 3 weeks of playing for me, like once I hit Radiant, I was in Discords and I was looking for a team to join, like just to get some experience in. I was trying to find a team to play in, and I found a team, and it was like we practiced for like 5-6 months, and it was like just a bunch of random people, and we were just
Mm.
playing, and it was like I was just playing Reyna, and we were just trying to improve, and it's like they wouldn't have let me into that. I had no VLR, I had no presence, I had no connections and anything like that,
Yeah,
right? And they trialed me, and the only reason I got into it is because of my mechanics, and
yeah,
like the only reason I got that chance to gain experience was because of my individual skill. And it's like people don't want to trial you unless you're at like a certain level mechanically, because you can improve your game sense, your comms and everything like over time, but mechanics is just all down to you individually. And it's hard to teach someone mechanics. It's easier to teach them how to comm, how to position, but if someone can't shoot, they just can't shoot. Like
yeah,
you can't teach them how to shoot better. That's the problem.
yeah. I love what you've said though, because I think that point about doing the mini VOD reviews, where I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
take any time just to look back how you died, right? But understanding the mechanics of that situation, the POV, the info they had, all of those things, I think no one would be gold if they did that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it
mean,
would be impossible
yeah.
unless they
I mean,
have an Asda mouse that they're using upside down.
yeah, but it's like it's hard because you have to be really self-critical and like really like not give yourself any any reason, because it was like, and you need to really understand and like try to put yourself in the other person's like shoes. Like imagine you're playing in his perspective and you're seeing like yourself peek that corner like without I mean like an easy shot or something like that, and you have to be like really self-critical and like, was this stupid or something? Should I do this again? And you don't improve unless you're like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. So the other question that I wanted to kind of follow on from that was, how do you then make that transition? We understand that rank's important. Okay, I've got a high rank, and maybe I'm playing with the team a bit. How did you make that transition, and how easy was it to kind of transition into a serious team environment?
I mean, from the beginning, I was playing, like, ever since I touched, like, basically every time I touched Valorant, I wanted to join a team, right? I was like, I wanted to play, become pro, and it was like, how, let me think about the question again. It was, the question was,
How did you make that transition, and how
how do I
easy
make the
was it?
transition? Okay. So it was like, when I first started playing, I wanted to go pro, and to make the transition, it wasn't that hard, but it was like a little bit, like, I wasn't too, like, I didn't put too much importance on it because I just wanted to learn. And I joined a team of like a bunch of people from a Discord, and it was like we were all just trying to play and learn and everything like that. And we played like a first tournament together, and it wasn't great. We lost, but we practiced for 6 months. We stayed together for like five months or something like that. And I think the importance of this is just, you need to, like, improve yourself individually and as a team. Like, you can improve yourself as a team, but you also need to focus on yourself sometimes, and take some time to review yourself and VOD review, because every time I I always record my VODs and everything like that, so I can go back and watch it. And to be honest, the transition wasn't too bad because I had played competitively in Fortnite, and I knew, like, the mindset you have to go into it. I think a lot of people, when they go into teams, they have a really big ego and everything like that. And like you come from a different team and you played really well, and you're coming to another team and you just have an ego and you're not trying to learn. And it's I think it's a problem with the UK scene, to be honest. Like,
Oh,
everyone has
yeah.
massive egos. You can't really teach anyone anything because they just
Yeah, I think we were very fortunate to have the team that we had with the Goose House.
honestly, I think that there's only a couple of UK teams that could have worked, and I was one of them. Like all the personalities, they mixed well, and to be honest, it's hard to find that with other UK teams. I think that's why there's only like three of them that were playing at a top level.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
a good level team. It just sucks that we had to play Excel and then Tundra to get into Polaris.
Don't take me back. Oh yeah, I'm getting flashbacks. Getting flashbacks of us just not making Polaris, because I think
we had to play first and second in Polaris to
win,
to try qualify. Yeah,
and we took it all the way. I mean, I think for everyone on that team, and that was a big break, right? I think that we showed what we were capable of in that team. Certainly, you and Big Time, I think, particularly, and James obviously as well, and Unicorns of Love, I think, really, took that opportunity and ran with it, right? I think it kind of shows what's possible as a kind of completely unknown tier 3 team, that you can make the transition if you have the right mindset. And I think your mindset and how focused you were on improvement, I think that says a lot about you and about why you've been so successful as a player. Back to Apeks.
Yeah.
How was it to come into that team with all of the people on it for you? They're big names that have played on very successful teams and organizations. How was it at the beginning to kind of join that team?
I think it was a big step for me, like, as an individual. Like, the first day, we didn't have a first prac day. We went to boot camp, and that's when we first met each other, and that's like when our first prac day was. And it was nice, seeing everyone in real life. And I was a bit nervous because I think Magnum, Enzo, and Mystic, they all knew each other, and Shadow was known as well. And then I'm just the random kid that that joined. Like, no one knows me, so it was interesting. But everyone on that team super friendly, and it was super nice. They all don't have any ego about them, so it was really chill. Like, honestly, like the first week, it was so nice.
And did you feel, as time went on and you kind of integrated more, did you feel pressure from them because they were so established, or was it not like that at all?
No, I think our team environment was really, really, really good. Like we were all having fun, and it was all about improvement and you know, trying to grow as a team and just trying to learn. You know, like I don't think people we had. I mean, every team has fights, of course, right? But it's like
Mhm.
we all understood, and we all like took time to just like debrief and think about it, because I think there needs to be an understanding of like everyone's here just to win, just to improve. No one's here to play bad. Like I mean, of course for us it was like that, because like everyone's there for a reason. You know, everyone's trying to get back into like Mystic, Enzo, Magnum, trying to get back in VCT.
Yeah.
You know, like they're trying to prove a point, and Shadow's like really underrated player. You know, like people don't really know how much value he brings to a team. So it was
Mhm.
like I think everyone there was trying to prove themselves, and me especially, coming from like from nowhere basically.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone if everyone has a united like mindset, it's like it's so much easier, because you know that people are here to win, and you know that this guy is not he didn't peak this just because, you know, he's trying to control in an unofficial. He's like he thought it would have worked, you know, like it's like things like that. He's like he's trying to everyone's trying to win basically.
I think being not too critical of people's mistakes, I think we
Yeah.
all are worst critics, I think, especially
Yeah.
as I think the level increases. I think people are very self-critical. Was that the case in Apeks? Were people quite self-critical? I mean, it sounds like you had a very positive environment across how everyone was to each other, but were people quite self-critical, do you think, internally?
I think it was because just the rate that we were improving, it was like people I mean, I think everyone is self-critical, but I think it takes a second perspective to see. So it's like you're doing this mistake or something like that. So we're all helping each other. Like everyone was self-critical to a point, but there's just some things that you don't see and that other people see, and that they will point out, and you just need to be able to like take that criticism and like be constructive with it. Like I mean, it's also the point about people need to be giving constructive criticism back. You know, like you can't be just saying you're doing this wrong and not offer any solutions. Like
Yeah.
you need to be able to try build upon each other. You know.
Yeah, for sure. You said about different perspectives. Obviously, you had quite a big coaching staff, and I
Yeah.
think obviously that was something that went around a lot on social media. How was it to have so many coaches?
I mean, we had Ito and Danny always watching our VODs, and they were always messaging each other back and forth and just like talking about us, you know, as every coach staff does. Like, and we had Forrest there as well. You know, he was always in the stream watching us, and it was just like there's so many ideas thrown back and forth with the coaches, and so many ways to improve, like the way when they're talking to each other, and I think it's I think it's important to have like ideas and ways to improve. I mean, I think it's the coaching staff really helped us, to be honest. Like all three of them, like they really helped us, and we had a performance coach during Ascension, which was really good as well. But we had while we were improving, I think it was really important to have all these coaches, because we just learned so much, and they were all like Danny was bringing ideas from VTT games, because while we were playing, like he was bringing like pistol ideas and everything from these things, and Ito was, you know, controlling the scrims from there. So it's just like we had a good system, to be honest. Like
Yeah,
we just had a good system. It's just it's not the amount of coaches you have, it's just like the way you use them and the system that you implement.
for sure. I totally agree with you. Yeah, and I certainly wasn't ever one to judge having a big coaching staff like that. I think from my point
Yeah.
of view, that as a coach, it's so beneficial to have someone that you can kind of privately bounce ideas off of, because you know, you don't waste a lot of time with players talking about it. You know, you kind of come to a consensus on what you think is right, and you have a much better idea of it in that case. So I think it's incredibly valuable. So regular season of Polaris, we're winning every game.
Yeah.
How do you stay humble? How do you continue to improve?
I mean, it was for us, the games we were still making mistakes. Like not every game is
Sure.
like we would win, and like we'd still make a ton of mistakes, and we'd go back and we'd watch every game, even the games we won. We'd watch every game, and even in prac games we won, we would still have rounds to review. Like there's always something to improve on, and I think it's obviously evident because we lost the last game of Polaris, and that was just because I think we were just a little bit complacent. Of course, I mean LPB played really well, of course, but I honestly think we could have played better. Like they played really well, we played not so great, and we were a little bit complacent, and it was actually really good material for us to review. So I mean, I'm glad that we lost to them, honestly, because we reviewed a lot of stuff from that game, from that series, and it was really important for us, to be honest. And yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that losing more would have made you a stronger team going into Ascension?
I think we were already losing enough in scrims, you know. No, I mean, I'm not, oh, we weren't losing too much in scrims, but you know, we would lose some practice and scrims, and there would be a lot to review. And
Sure.
with the games and officials, obviously officials are different to scrims, of course, but we were super focused in officials, and we all had a really good mindset. And I think the fact that we were winning a lot of games, it gave us the like, we had a really good team environment. Like we had a really good mood. Everyone was like joking with each other, and we were all bouncing ideas off each other. And we even tested like a day where we said no laughing, and it was like,
Oh,
because
really?
because we are having problems with our pre-round. Everyone was like laughing too much about the last round, and everyone was like joking too much that we messed up our pre-round comms,
Yeah.
so that we can play the next round. So we had a day where we were like no laughing, because gonna mess up our pre-round. And that was like actually our worst day that we ever played,
Oh,
because we
really?
went, yeah, and we were getting destroyed the entire day. And it was like, you can make a joke about it, because it was like the rule was no laughing, you know. Like we would be getting like 20 to 4, and it was like, yeah, at least we got pistol boys. Like that's how we would be like on the
Yeah.
other days. And we were like we were full silent and dead. And I mean, I think it's really important for the environment to be good to improve, to be honest. Like I think it's a big factor.
Mm. Okay. So we moved to Ascension.
Yeah.
How was it in Berlin? What was that like going out on? Because you played on the stage there, right?
Yeah.
What was that like as an experience?
I think it was, honestly, it was really insane, because the stage was really well done, and it was like such a step up from like Polaris, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
It was
Yep.
like, it was so
Playing in
different.
the Dungy Red Bull Gaming Sphere basement to
Yeah.
the main VCT stage.
Yeah, I mean, it was really unreal, to be honest. And I just think that the we played it was more similar to Coupe de France that we played with Bonk than it was to the Polaris finals, you know. Like with Coupe de France, we had the stage, we played against mandatory, and we had loads of people screaming mandatory, and it
Oh
was
wow.
like, it was a good experience, and I think it kind of reminded me of then. And I had
Yes. The French
yeah,
supporters are
yeah,
strong.
yeah, they are, you know. And it was, the stage was like really, honestly, I can't stop talking about it, because I keep thinking about it, and it's so nice. Like honestly, I think I want to go to one of the Masters and see those ones, because I've been seeing a lot on Twitter recently about the Champions one, and it looks
Yeah.
insane. Like I can't imagine playing on there, because that would be unreal. Just having like so many people around you, you know.
Yeah, I
And
would love to
honestly,
go to Madrid when the
yeah,
next Masters
yeah,
happens. I think for me that's given it's so close to home, I think it would be a
yeah,
mistake not to go. So how did you guys feel going into the final against Gentlemates? Obviously, we know they're an incredibly strong team.
yeah.
How did you guys feel going into that game?
I mean, going into it, we were pretty relaxed. We'd beaten them the entire year basically, and we were destroying them like in prac in the entire year. But you know, I think the overconfidence was a mistake, of course. I think we played them around 18 times this year in prac and in officials, and we'd beaten them 18-0. And in prac it was very one-sided at times. So I think we were all very confident, to be honest. And I think that it just when we got onto stage, it was like once we started losing, we were like we didn't come up with any solutions, you know. I mean, we can talk about more that later, you know. But I think we
No, I'm
were
happy to talk
confident
about it
going into.
now. I'm happy to talk about it now.
Yeah, no, okay. I mean, when we got to stage, and I think the first map was Haven, and we were winning like at the beginning, and then we just started losing, and we started losing, and we started losing, and we couldn't get any solutions to what was happening because I mean, I don't know but
You can
basically,
be honest. You can be honest.
no, but after the game, basically, we were told that Existence had anti-stratted us for the past 2 weeks. Like,
Doesn't surprise me.
yeah, I mean, he anti-stratted like all our stuff on Haven and Ascent, and he was like, he had set retakes just for us, where they would like set up for the Apeks retake or something like that, right? That's what I assumed they would say, right? And we were getting destroyed on Haven, and every single time they did a retake, we didn't know how to counter it because we had never been we'd never been just we never been
Countered like
retake
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, like we were getting fucked, and we just didn't have any solutions because
That Haven retake
know
was
what's
something
happening.
I wrote a whole thread about that Haven retake that they did on A,
Yeah.
because
But it
you
was
guys were going A a lot, and their Haven retake was just on another level, right? I mean, it was complete domination, like you say.
yeah, it was the worst part. It was specifically for us, so that we had like set positions, of course, like not
Yeah.
really set positions, but we would have like sort of set positions, and they did it specifically for us, and it we didn't have any, because we were so structured
Yeah.
that we didn't have any like idea how to fix it, because we didn't know what was happening to us. We were getting blinded, flash revealed, all on the positions that we were playing, and it was
Yeah.
fucked up, to be honest.
Do you think that was a mistake, being so rigid in the way that you played?
I mean, in the grand finals of a big pressure event, I think it might. I mean, I think it's really good. It was really good for us. I think we had honestly, the structure we had was really good, but I think it kind of, when it breaks down, and when the structure breaks down, and you're just playing, I think it's hard for us to come back, because we were all very centered around the playing correct, like we were being taught this for the past year, like 7 months, and we were we I don't know how to say it, but we couldn't think of a way to fix it when the pressure was high, like on the grand finals, and we choked pretty hard. So yeah.
You lose the first game.
Yeah.
We get the pep talk.
Yeah.
We've been anti-stratted, guys.
Yeah.
Do we feel better coming into the second game? Do we feel like we mentally reset? Or were we shaken? Because Haven was your best map, right?
Yeah, it was with Ascent, it was our second best map. So
Yeah.
we were going into it like, they anti-stratted Haven, and they're going to be playing some weird comps just to fuck with us. We all knew this, so we were like, they're going to be playing the Phoenix and the Sova, right?
Yeah.
But then they switched to Kair because we had a Cypher, and the fact that they're able to switch like that, like last game, they were doing some crazy stuff, and it paid off, to be honest. Like we didn't. The thing is, we weren't great against off meta comps, because we play in prac against meta comps, because we play against like every team that is playing the meta comps. And when we play against an off meta comp, it's hard to adapt, because you need to adapt on the spot. But with meta comps, it's like you basically know how everyone's doing everything, right? But with off meta comps, it's a bit confusing, and I think we didn't adapt fast enough, and I think they just rolled us, to be honest, because we weren't adapting fast enough.
I think it's really challenging. I also think it's why you see the teams at the top be so successful, because they can be so dynamic in the way that they can play, in the different compositions and the different styles that they can adapt to. I mean, I've obviously been watching a lot of the VCT back, and I'm sure you have been too. And the different faces that a team can have, the different compositions they can play, the pace changes, and also how they can they'll just see a comp and they'll be like, oh, I know how I should play against that comp. This is the kind of style, the pacing. This is, you know, how I should play stylistically against this comp, and not be so structured. Right? It's very interesting that you mentioned this point about structure. Do you think that more generally, that how structured you were caused you problems because you couldn't adapt?
I mean, I don't think it's we could adapt. We were really good at adapting, but it was against we were good at adapting against what we knew. Like, we knew how to play against all the meta comps. We knew how to play against the variations of the meta comps. But then when they brought out no Sova on Ascent, Phoenix on Ascent, it's like they can't even play mid. So mid is ours now, and it was a bit confusing because mid game we were talking about it on a timeout. We were like, they can't play mid at all, or if they go in mid, it's suicide. They don't have a Sova reveal. They only have the KO knife and they have Phoenix, and that's it. And I think we all understood this, but then they kept going A, they kept going A, they kept going A, they kept going A, and we couldn't stop it. And it was like we had 4 of us there at one point, and they just
I remember that round. Yeah,
and it was like we just died, and it was hard. I mean, I think it was honestly like just in the moment when the pressure's on, it was hard just to think. Like we played against like off meta comps, and we played well against them, but it was just like because of the environment we were in, like because of the pressure, because of the everything, like the crowd. Like, we were in a small arena. I think there was like 200 people there. Like, it's not a lot, but when it's like so compact,
when it's
it wasn't really
150 mates fans and they're all screaming,
yeah, it's loud. But you know, it was a good experience for us, to be honest. But it just sucks that we didn't play as well as we should have. You know, we didn't show how good we are.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's very disappointing because and I mean, I think you know this just as well as I do, that people don't remember the close games that you lost against great teams. It's that's not how a legacy is made.
Yeah.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, Jesus.
It's a deep one, I know.
I'm not sure. I don't even know. Like,
how do you want to be remembered? You know, in 10 years' time, when you finish your career in esports. Well, or don't, but you know what I mean.
I couldn't say, to be honest. I honestly couldn't say. I can't even think about like what I can't think about what I'm gonna do, to be honest, because I normally take every day how it is. So I don't think too far ahead, you know. Like, I don't give myself false hope about anything. So I honestly, if I were to say, I would just be like, I just wanna hopefully go to a Masters or like a Champions, and I just wanna be able to, you know, win one. I think
You're
that's
so
every goal.
humble. You're so humble, Keiko.
No, I honestly just, you know, I think it's I think that's every goal for every pro, just to win a major event.
Mm. So next time, if you were going to go back and do it again, what would you do differently?
I think next time I wouldn't be under so much pressure. I think everything that we did leading up to the event was good. I think everything that the coaching and the staff did for us was really good. I think the way that I practiced was good. I just think that the pressure got to us, and I think that with experience that it wouldn't be as bad, you know. Like, I think it's easy to say the pressure got to us, you know, but it's like when we saw like the level we were playing at, and then before the match, and then after, like while we were playing, you could see there's a clear difference on like the level we were playing at.
Yeah, I was sad because obviously I was cheering for you too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was disappointing for a lot of people too. But also understandable in a lot of ways as well, especially for yourself personally. I mean, I can't imagine what I'd be like. You know, I would have been shit in my pants backstage. It was very challenging. So, thank you so much for your insight and your honesty about it, because I know it's still very fresh. But I guess, what's next for you? What do you hope is next for you? Obviously, you've got hundreds of trials lined up with VCT teams all around the world. You're a very sought after player. So what do you hope's next? What would be like the best kind of thing that could happen now? Get picked up by a VCT team.
Yeah, honestly, I just want to play in VCT, and I just want to be able to show everyone that it's just not like a tier 2 player, and that I can play at the top level. And because we played against a lot of the franchise teams in Prac, and you know, we had. I think we were
lots of good games. I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
I have no doubt there were many teams that you were beating.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like people need to understand that the gap between tier 1 and tier 2 it isn't big at all, to be honest. And I think I think the franchise system really like it doesn't show much of the tier 2 potential. So I think it's good, and I think that I also want to go into a franchise because it's like there's some people that don't think I'm good, so you know, I just want to shit on them in game.
Yeah. So who do you want to prove wrong? I wrote this question already. Well, who? Okay. Well, I'd love that. I'd love. Who do you want to call to do that? To just call them out. But who's one player you really respect and you'd want to play against? You'd want to have that opportunity to, you know, go duelist to duelist.
One player. Honestly, I haven't. I wouldn't know, to be honest, because I haven't been. I don't know how to say it that way. I don't think I review a lot of EMEA duelists. I think I watch a lot of Pacific and a lot of NA teams right now.
You can go from you're playing at a Masters event. You can be playing. You can play against anyone in the world.
I'd say. Nah.
You gotta say it now. You gotta say it now. You've had that reaction.
I think I have to say Demon 1 because the disrespect that he puts on the EMEA. So you know.
Okay. Yeah. I would love to see that.
I mean, it's not really respect, obviously, but you know, I would love to play against him because I think it's. I think I need to bring back EU. You know.
I feel like one of the things as well is that, like, especially now, like the scene's so established that people have to outwork to kind of catch up, right? It's like there's an even bigger gap than there was when you started. Like you say, you're kind of a year behind, but people are 5 years behind now, right? Like for 3 or 4 years behind, plus all of the other experience people have in other games. I think closing that gap is challenging.
Yeah, it is. I mean, honestly, it's like I feel like a lot of players, if they improved the way they practiced and the way that they like, you need to practice for a reason, you know. And I feel like a lot of players aren't doing that. So it's like they're just stuck in tier 3 loop, you know, just playing mix after mix and trying to go pro. When it's like it's hard when you have these established practices that are bad, like, you know, you're practicing bad.
Sure. Yeah. Playing with intention, I think, is an important point as well. Like you mentioned, like people just, I'm just playing ranked. I'm just playing ranked. I'm just playing ranked. And they're not even consciously observing their mechanics and working on them, you know, as a bare minimum, let alone anything else. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. I guess it's on people and their mindset, right? So much of it's about mindset. Yeah. I think I'm impressed by like your diligence to work hard, right? Like I think you're obviously quite an intelligent person too, and you've really applied it to the game, and it shows. You know, I think there's like this kind of misconception that you're just like this crazy mechanical player, right? But like it's so much more to have done what you've done in the time that you have.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, I think I came from. It's a bit weird because like the first year I just had no connections, and it was so AIDS trying to like find a team and get into a team. Like the first 6 months was horrible, and then there was like the time after that it was like I only knew UK players, and then I got a lucky chance. I was playing with like Connor and my friends, right? Connor and friends, and then I got like the only reason I got known was because of a lucky mix. I played with Ems, right? I played with him for one day.
It's like, I know this kid. He's corrupt. I know this game, Keiko. He's cracked. Bring him in, and we're gonna slap.
Yeah.
And
that happened, and then because of TGH, Bonka knew me, and then because of Bonka,
oh my god,
because I played really well against him, so he knew me. So then he
Yes.
trialed in Wild with me, and I played really well with him. I dropped like 45 kills or something like that in a pack with him.
Oh my god, mate.
And then that's the reason why he trialed me for Finest. Yeah. And then that's the reason he trialed me for Bonk, and then I got into Bonk, and then I got my name out there, and then people started noticing me. Like, it's all just a bit lucky, to be honest, but yeah. That's
Oh my god, the point you make about luck as well, like I have to say that as well. Big Time and Bambino made this point about luck. Yeah. And how big of a thing it is, and also like creating your own luck, right? Reaching out to people and trying to make connections with people. It's definitely more challenging as a player to do that, but connections are everything, right? They really are so important. It's also why you can't burn bridges, right? You want to be, you're the kind of guy that's quite nice to everyone, and I think that probably benefits you in that sense. You know, you're not toxic generally to people.
Maybe in ranked I am, but
but if they're trash, they deserve it. You know, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time when I'm in ranked and I flame someone, I think 99% of the time it's not a pro player, because I only flame people who are like just don't know what they're doing, you know. So it's like, if I manage to flame a pro player, then that's just like their fault, to be honest, because I swear, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one's gonna make the highlight reel. I gotta say that. Oh, awesome. Yeah, it's nice to catch up as well. Obviously, like it's funny how, you know, because we weren't really together on a team for that long, but like the connections you make with people on those kind of teams are, they're really deep, right? It's funny how you said this. You made this point earlier about how you always wanted to play on a team, and like for me, that's what makes it fun, right? Like a lot of people just want to perform at a really high level, but actually being part of like a really strong team is such a privilege, and it's so enjoyable, like having that connection with other people that you don't. I don't know, like where else do you find that?
Yeah, I think it's there's a lot of people that you get to know, and I think that you see a lot of people's like personality when it comes to a team, because like when we had Apeks trials, we had Shadow, and he was so quiet, like he was playing well, and it was like he was he was doing everything in game, but out of game he was so quiet, right? But then we come to LAN, we come to boot camp. He's singing in the shower. He's wearing sandals to the office, and he's singing to like Barbie and everything. And he has so much more personality than he did at the beginning. You know, you get to know him, and it's actually he's so funny. He's such a funny guy, and it's like you would never have known this if you talk to him for like 2 minutes. You know, like this. You get to know people.
It's also why I think like the face-to-face stuff is a huge difference maker, right? I think you joining when with the Goose House and coming to our first like boot camp, I think that really set us up for success on that team as well. I mean, as you say, a lot of things like the stars just kind of align for that path, that kind of launch pad, I guess.
Yeah It's been a ride, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like it must have been a pretty crazy 2 years for you as well, because like doing your A-levels, like A-levels for me were fucking chaos.
Yeah, mate, I remember we were like, I fucked them so hard. I got like BCC, and I was predicted like.
Oh, okay, you can't say that. You definitely can't say that to people.
No, I did.
I only got BCC. Yeah, and there's like people.
I didn't. No, the thing is, I didn't study for any of them because I was trying to study, but then I would get distracted, and then I'd play ranks, and I'd try to. But then I was like, I shouldn't really be playing Valorant, so I'm like, I'll get off after one.
Yeah, so you're negging yourself about Valorant, and you're not giving it full focus, but then you're not focused on your exams because you're thinking about Valorant. And like I said, you're giving both things 20%.
Yeah, 20% instead of 50-50, because it's hard to get, like, I mean, how can you get 50-50? You know, like when you're trying to compete and trying to play well, it's hard. So I didn't study. My parents are mad. They were so surprised because I was really like, I was like meant to get
A star,
double A star, because it was maths, computer science, and then chemistry was fucking shit, mate. chemistry was shit.
Talking to the person with the chemistry PhD.
Right, chemistry is actually shit.
To be fair, so yeah, in my A levels I got ABB, which
Yeah.
also because I played 2,500 hours of Dota during that time.
Yeah.
I spent more time playing Dota than I did studying for my A levels.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get chemistry was my worst result, despite now doing it as my job.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's really weird.
Yeah, things that life throws at you, I guess. Anyway, I guess
Yeah.
you probably got plans. You probably want to
Oh
get
yeah,
on
I mean,
stuff.
I was planning to go watch a movie with my girlfriend, like called Talk to Me or some horror movie about A24 tonight.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We go eat. Are you hungry? Oh, she needs to go. She wants to go get some food.
Okay, well, go do that. Enjoy. And I guess so. One final thing. What advice would you've given some really big knowledge bombs, honestly. So like, thank you so much for that. What parting advice would you like to give to other players that would like to follow the path that you have? This meteoric rise from like you say, from a nobody to playing on the Ascension stage and hopefully making it to VCT in the next year.
I mean, I think I just tell all the UK Val players just not let your ego get in the way of improvement, and I think it's try to stick together try to find a team that actually wants to play with each other and not break up after 3 months, like after 2 months or something like that, because you don't really like after one loss, you if you break up, it's like you don't really get the chance to improve and everything like that. And I think with the UK scene, I think there's a lot of kids with potential, and I think there's a lot of people and a lot of like people who can actually become tier 2, tier 1 players, and I think they're all just locking themselves down, like just playing with UK mixes when they know it's not going to work out because of personality clashes and stuff like this. And I mean, I think there's a lot of potential in these players. They just need to, they need to actually try harder. Like not if they. I feel like a lot of people want to go pro and they're playing a lot but they're not doing the right practices. Of course, I think there's a lot of things to improve on, and yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
that's
Yeah, and
it.
if anything you'd like to shout out, anyone you'd like to shout out, or your own socials, obviously I'll link them all in the description. So anything.
Shout out to Big Time,
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to
Big Time.
Mzuru, Swise, Canafis,
The whole gang.
the whole gang.
The OG Goose House gang.
Yeah, Danny as
Awesome.
well. Oh, Danny. Yeah.
Danny, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
He's
so
been
much.
gone for a while. Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.